I'm glad you could join us. Today is Thursday the 14th of June in Nassau, and it's a bit rainy this afternoon. I hope that you've gone out and registered to vote. That is, if you're 18 years old since the 2nd of May, you should go out and register. And go out and register if you're over 18 and didn't register before the general election of the 2nd of May. The PLP, or at least some members of the PLP who lost their elections, are about to file election court cases. And few people believe that Hubert Ingraham will wait for a court result. The thinking is that he'll go to the country, and that means that all PLPs should be ready and registered. So if you are a PLP and turned 18 since the general election, go and register. And if you are an adult and did not register before the election and you're a PLP, please register now. Alfred Sayers, Bernard Nottage, Shane Gibson, Vincent Peet all spoke on Tuesday the 12th of June in the House of Assembly on the budget debate, which is winding up today. They all made compelling cases against the FNM as a government that railed against the policies of the PLP when they were in opposition, but now find themselves having to embrace everything that the PLP did, and they have embraced it uncritically. It was quite embarrassing, for example, to the new Minister of Tourism, Nico Grant, to be told by the former Minister of Tourism, Obi Wilshcombe, that it was clear that he did not understand what was going on in his ministry. Mr. Grant was advised by Obi Wilshcombe to listen to the professionals in his ministry. One remarkable address, of course, was that of the former road traffic controller, who's now the Member of Parliament for Garden Hills. If you heard this FNM member speak, you would have thought that he had invented the Urban Renewal Program. This is the program that his leader, Hubert Ingraham, had pledged to stop. This is the revolutionary and award-winning program that led to what Dr. Bernard Nottage called the inner city being given priority for the first time. It helped the police find information. It helped the communities with issues, social and financial, that they were unable to deal with before. Now the FNM says that they are embracing it and even suggesting that they're going to put more money into it than the PLP did. Melanie Griffin, who was the minister responsible for social services under the PLP, put the lie to that suggestion that the FNM will be putting more money into urban renewal than the PLP. Urban renewal is a program which was designed by the PLP, and the FNM came into office and wanted to scrap it simply because the PLP did it, and they now have to backtrack. Shane Gibson, who was a former Minister of Housing and a former Minister of Immigration, went right to the heart of the matter when he told the FNM that they were now in charge, and he didn't want to hear any excuses from them. They needed to fix the problems. He ridiculed the FNM as a government that was fault-finding in everything that the PLP did, and he was particularly savage on them with regard to their record in housing. He said that there's no perfect house that's been built, and you know the FNM has this litany of complaints about houses built by the PLP. And they had to do that because in answer to the PLP's comment that the FNM didn't build many houses in their time. But what Shane Gibson was able to point out is that the complaints under the FNM with the few houses that they built were about 15% of the houses built, whereas with the PLP the complaints were about 5%. So clearly the PLP did a good job. And he added that since the FNM is so perfect, he's going to look for them to build perfect houses. And that we look to see as well. Shane Gibson was all over them for their continued victimization of Bahamians. You know the story of how Steve McKinney and Philippa Russell were fired by the Prime Minister from ZNS from a public platform within days of the election. And he gave the case of Rory Higgs, who is head of the Bahamas Mortgage Corporation, who was also fired by the FNM because he's PLP. The FNM's presentation in the House has really been nothing short of pathetic. It's a gotcha set of politics at its best. You almost want to say to them that maybe they need to start a detective agency instead of being a government, because all they seem to do is to spend their time investigating, reviewing, and stopping projects. Dr. Bernard Nottage said that what they're reviewing and stopping projects really meant for the country is they were putting people out of work. And he had some of his constituents in the gallery, and he said, Baintown people are being put out of work. The Bahamas will not have an easy time under this group of people called the FNM. and we're not really sure what they're out to prove. What we do know is the PLP has to keep focused. It must continue to hold the F&M's feet to the fire, and the F&M, by their early actions as a government, they really have lost the moral high ground. On another note, I'd just like to offer my congratulations to Mark Knowles and his Canadian partner in tennis for winning the French doubles this week. This is a signal accomplishment for Bahamian Mark Knowles, and it deserves honorable mention, and we add our voices to the pride in his accomplishment. So that's it, and we hope to see you the next time. Goodbye.